Hey, I'm Lucas Wojtowski, founder of Nomad's Hands-On Advanced PPC. And I want to show you another case study on an account that we took over with some very simple changes that we're making across a lot of accounts to drop TACoS immediately. So I'm going to cover these 3 points in about a few seconds, and then I'm going to jump into the real data to show you what we did. So we dropped TACoS 3% in 1 month after signing on this client. Organization. It is amazing to me the amount of accounts that we come into and say, yeah, we've worked with all these other agencies and we've been on Amazon for years, and their naming structure of campaigns are all different. So it's impossible to tell what's going on. We cut out old and overlapping campaigns, renamed them, and restructured everything. Segmented branded versus non-branded. This is still a very simple thing you need to be doing, and made sure that we had all of our bases covered for branded. Headline, sponsored display, sponsored products, making sure that our branded always showed up for no matter what ad type was running. This is what I'm going to dive into. Variation analysis. Everyone has variations. If you're overspending on the slow sellers, you're going to have a high TACoS. So we cut back on the spend for slow moving child ASIN, and things really turned around. So now let me jump into the figures here. So first off, before I do this, I want to show you guys, this is my real screen. And I have a tab up here, YouTube video ideas. These are coming from my team. So as our agency has grown, I've made sure to bring on other experts who are seeing things like me. So I have really stepped away from the day-to-day management myself. It is my team of experts who are even sending me these ideas and showing me what happened. And then we're all collaborating and figuring out, okay, how do we keep coming up with these ideas to grow all of our clients' accounts? So here's the data here for this account, right? And you can see, so first off, I want to start with this. Back in May, right, when things were doing well, back in May, they had 193K in sales at 13% TACoS. They had some issues with hiring some other people, trying a bunch of PPC strategies. Sales were all over the place, and TACoS jumped all the way up to 25% at one point. Now, we're just about back to where we were in May, and TACoS is 2% lower. So when we came on last month, we grew sales by 10K and TACoS dropped by 3%. And organic sales shot way up. So this organic sales number is huge. And that's what I'm talking about, that variation analysis. All right. So what you always want to look at is looking back and not getting ahead of yourself in the figures. Okay. So when sales are down, right? And when everyone is down right now, you think that every single year you should be growing and growing and growing. Be realistic. So what we want to do as a PPC agency is we're telling a lot of people right now, hey, a lot of people are down from last year. The best thing we can do for you is keep you profitable, right? So we can say, okay, a few months ago you were at 190K in total sales. We're going to get you back there, maybe a little below it. We're going to stay right at that figure, and we're going to keep you profitable. Once we get out of this macroeconomic downturn in the whole industry, right, then we'll see that growth. But for now, we need to be realistic and play for the long-term game here so we can kind of stay alive in the Amazon game, right? So what I want to do is I want to jump into scale insights here. And just if you're not looking at this, I know a lot of people watching this are users of scale insights. And it's just very simple data that if you're not doing this, this is where your TACoS is likely spiking. So as I dive into this account here, so I have the Scale Insights account pulled up here. And if you're not looking at this at a high level, it's the number should be obvious, okay? So this is on a parent listing level. And you can see, right, I think this is for 30 days. We've got the TACoS at 10.4%. Everything's super healthy. Now, if I do this drop down here, it gives me all the data for the child ASIN. This is the easiest way to look at this. Now, I want to call out that we have a bunch of variations in here that all sell very well. So they're all at about 200 units a piece. But look at this. So these are selling very well organically, but they're not our best PPC driver. Okay, so we have this one, right? That's at 259 units. And that's not like crazy far and above this one that's at 237 units. But this one we're not spending on PPC. And this is our main driver. We have actually 159 orders down here. Now, why is this? Click-through rate and conversion rate. So a lot of things with variations are click-through rate. So if you see this, if you go down this list of your variations and you say, actually, my one that's not like absolutely my best seller is doing very well with PPC, don't ignore that, okay? So I get that this one is doing well, but we're driving a lot of the listing, a lot of the traffic to the listing with just a couple of good sellers, and it's working. And the listing as a whole is healthy. So bottom line, that's the most important thing. Don't force it. Don't think that, oh man, this variation needs to get all the spend. It's always been the best. It's going to be the best forever. It's the only one I'm going to spend on. And also don't think that I need to spend on every single variation because that's why I made this listing. Look at this data. If you have some variations that are overspending, that are unhealthy, cut them. If you have a couple that are driving a lot of the traffic and the parent listing is healthy, that's all that matters, okay? So I hope that this helps. These are some of the very first things that we dive into when we take over an account. Organization, branded versus non-branded, variation analysis, very simple things that we know with some very clear rules we can improve on and keep things healthy for the long term.